Hey, wine mermaids. This is the Peace, Love, and Wine podcast, bringing you happy hour conversations with awesome women on self-care, sisterhood, and creative living to reduce stress and maximize joy. Life is short, so grab a glass and get ready to sip, sparkle, and make a splash. Make sure to visit peaceloveandwine.com and enter your email to receive VIP deals and get your free self-care download. Now, here's your wine sister hostess with the mostest, Tiffany Humfeld.
Hey, it's Tiffany, and I'd like to welcome Ginger Fatale to the Peace, Love, and Wine podcast today. Hello.
Hi.
We are here today to talk about burlesque. It's an exciting topic.
I think so.
Oh, good. I'm glad you think so. That means you're in the right line of work.
After so long, I think I should be.
Mm-hmm. Tell me what burlesque is, because I bet there's a lot of people listening who maybe have heard the word or never heard it at all, don't really know what it is.
Well, I can tell you what we do. I guess kind of what some of it is. We do a lot of storytelling with ours, and it's definitely the art of striptease, and there's a lot of comedy in it. It's not like going to a strip club, which, I love the strippers and everything. More power to them. That's just not what we do. We go and we put on a show and we tell a story. We want to entertain and engage you, and also there's a little bit of sexy in it.
There's a lot of sexy in it.
Maybe a lot. Depends on the show.
But it's definitely a very, 21 and older experience.
Yeah, we've definitely had some experiences where we end up with younger audience members just out of strange flukes with the venue, and that's really uncomfortable. So we definitely prefer performing for adults.
Oh yeah, I bet. That would be really
Why is your 4-year-old in the audience? Please take them outside. Yeah.
Oh man, please blindfold them. Wait, no, that sounds weird too.
Yeah. Let's take them outside. Go home.
So I first saw, when you say we, you're talking about the Dirty Little Secrets.
Yes,
right?
The Dirty Little Secrets Burlesque
Troupe. Right?
Yep.
How long have you guys, I just changed my line of thought here, but how long have you been together? Tell me a little bit about that.
DLS has been, we just turned 12 actually in June. We just turned 12 in June. And so I've been doing this since we started this, and it's been a really wild ride.
And how did you get into it? What was your falling in love with burlesque story?
Oh gosh. So, there was once upon a time, there was a dance studio called Hidden Talents in Huntington Beach, and our fearless leader, Caitlin, ran it, and I was taking pole classes there, along with some other classes, and I started teaching there. And then in the wonderful world of MySpace, because that's how old this is, we saw one of those bulletin things, hey, we're having burlesque auditions, and I'm like, well, I miss performing and being a dancer of a certain age. If you're not good enough and haven't made it so far, at a certain point, you're not going anywhere. So if you want to be on stage again, you look. And
you're talking teenage years, right?
Yeah, 16 if you haven't done that. So I was 20, I think, and I saw burlesque auditions, and I was like, hey, I want to be on stage. That sounds like fun. And so I auditioned, and I got on, and I've been doing it ever since. And it's just so much fun. So empowering, and I love seeing the self-confidence and everything that all of our girls and boys kind of gain from it.
So do you think, there's so many questions I have, which route to go?
Do them all.
Okay, so yes, confidence, I guess the confidence and the humor in burlesque mixed with the sexiness, to me, that is just magic that happens. And you guys do it magically. And that was, I'm trying to remember the first DLS show I saw. It had to have been before the 420 show last year, the Up in Smoke show you did. But
okay.
I don't remember what the theme was. But I just remember thinking, this is the best thing ever!
Well, we do a lot of the different ones, funny and sexy. We've got a Potter parodies that we do. We do a Game of Thrones parody. We have a Disney one. A Marvel Infinity Wars parody. We're coming out with a Mean Girls one this month. And a Supernatural one this month. And also Nightmare Before Christmas. So we've got a lot of random sexy meets funny meets pop culture-y stuff.
And do it seems like you do some of those shows over again, right? Like you do it on the weekend, and then maybe next year you'll bring it back or something.
Yeah. So we're trying to get to the point where we have something that we can like rotate like once a year. It comes back and it kind of gets built upon and
refreshed.
Refreshed. We get better costumes because it's hard to costume 25 people on a shoestring budget. So we do those things and we make them better and we make them more relevant. Like in terms of Game of Thrones, that just kept getting updated because they kept releasing a new season. We're like, oh god, then you got to change, and it has 2 weeks to do so. So yeah, stuff like that. But things, like Harry Potter, like they're done. We could kind of just do that and then just find different aspects of the story that we want to tell.
Right. Oh, it's so much fun. You guys do a really good job too, I think, on, well, I don't know what your receipts say, so I can't say for sure, but it seems like you're able to like, you don't have extravagant costumes, but you have very effective and amusing and entertaining costumes.
Well, thank you. We do.
I don't know if that's a compliment, but it's supposed to be.
I take it as one. We're definitely not like Dita Von Teese, where she's got like 8 bajillion Swarovski crystals all over her body.
Like hand done.
Yeah, they're like hand stoned, and her point shoes are done all beautifully. We have things that came from eBay from China, and they were $3, and we just added some pretty rhinestones to them, and that's also costuming a bunch of different bodies too.
Right.
We are all over the board.
You do group routines.
We do group routines, and we are all shapes and sizes, and all sorts of things. So finding something that fits everybody, it's kind of like finding that perfect bridesmaid's dress. Like that looks good on everybody. Like, what is that?
Can we take it in a little here?
Yeah. Can you show a little bit less? Can you show a little bit more? So.
And do you really respect that for each performer? Like, does the performer get a say in terms of like what they feel comfortable showing? Like, does everybody on your troupe, for instance, go full bare-breasted?
Well, other than pasties, yes. Yeah, that's kind of the expectation where we are now. Definitely when we started and like we were a new bunch of like burly babies, they're like, so it's kind of optional to take your top off. And now we're kind of like, so you should probably put some underwear on. It's like, so I think we've all gotten to the point where we're pretty comfortable. And even as we get new girls, we're like, okay, so you will be showing your boobs. You'll be covered with pasties, but like that's going to happen. Are you okay with that?
Right.
And, we kind of just, you can have bigger pasties so it feels like you're still wearing something. And eventually, you pop one and then that cherry's gone. And you're fine.
I was watching a video the other day where somebody, lost one and they were just like, picked it up and was fanning it around and covering the rest up with the other hand. Because it's a legal thing, right? With regard to like, what you can show, and do you guys get fined if something happens, or is that a possibility?
I mean, that's a funny story. We can't perform in Huntington Beach anymore because we were performing.
Oh, you're so risque.
Yeah, we were performing without the proper license, a cabaret license, I think. So you're not supposed to show like any
tasteful side boob.
Yeah, none of that. And so we were performing, and a cop came in, I guess, and they were like, "So we can finish the show, but you can't do that again." Okay.
Wow, that's uncomfortable.
Yeah. I mean, obviously they like the show enough to let it continue, right? Like, stop us mid-show. We found out later.
I'm on duty. I have to inspect every aspect of this.
Whatever. Okay. So,
man.
That's how that goes. But yeah, I think we're all kind of to the point where we're comfortable enough to let this kind of ride out. And if you're in a group routine, sometimes you're like, well, I'll be looking at my friend instead until I feel more comfortable.
Right.
And then the next time you do it, you're like, oh, it wasn't that bad. Nothing fell out. We're good. Like,
right.
So
you get a little desensitized to like the sudden, like, I've suddenly been thrown out from the Garden of Eden.
Right. I mean, we're all going to have our things. Like, I think this past year was the first time that I had done a solo, and I didn't wear any fishnets. And I was like, oh, that feels really weird. Like, I'm wearing this itty bitty thong, and like things are gonna fall, but I have like no safety net, like literally net,
right.
like on my body. And I was like, oh, that was fine. Like, and now I do it all the time. I'm like, it's no big deal. But there are definitely some of us who still have like steps to take in certain directions, and like we'll get there. That's okay. That's okay.
That's a part of it, right? It's part of the like confidence and the growth. And okay. So I have this dilemma because I'm like, yes, okay, like fishnets and nylons can like save everything, and yet I hate them so much.
So uncomfortable.
But like, how much cottage cheese do I really want to show?
All of it. All of it.
Which is also the beauty of burlesque, right?
Right, exactly. Burlesque is for everybody.
Yes. So let's then talk about that with regard to the class that you teach on Friday nights.
Oh, okay. So I like to think that I teach burlesque from like a body positive, like self-esteem kind of perspective. I want you to obviously get the moves and try things out, but I really just want you to be comfortable like in your own skin, because I feel like we as a society tell you have to look like this, you have to wear these things, and you have to, blah, blah, blah. And like, that's not how everybody's going to feel comfortable, right? So I want you to try things, and I want you to try moving your body and just see what clicks. And I try to be funny and disarming and like really awkward, so you feel less awkward. That's usually my goal. Like, I'll make a total jerk out of myself so you guys will feel fine. Like that's usually my go-to standpoint.
Well, you did a good job of it when I took your class a couple weeks ago.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yes. I mean, I felt totally awkward, but mainly just because I hadn't been in a dance studio for so long, and I've had weird body challenges and physical pain and things that have like just made it so I can't really move as well. And so, oh my God, by the way, my like inner thighs were so sore. I was like, what happened? I think it was like that side runner stretch that we did.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, I need to do more of that.
Maybe more of that's why I hurt last night.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes.
For sure.
And also, I need to wear tighter clothing, because I was like, it's not showing my shape correctly. Like, even though I'm like not as comfortable in my own skin as I would like to be, which is actually part of the reason why I'm like so obsessed in getting into this, is so that I can accept all of who I am as I am until I get where I want to be. You know, like, I'm here where I am. I might not have tomorrow, right? So that's why one of the reasons I'm totally obsessed with it. But I totally forgot what my point was now, where I was going on.
We were talking about tighter clothing, and we were talking about fishnets. And
yes, okay. So I was like thinking, I mean, there are some women in the class that dress like very skimpily.
Yeah.
Scantily.
Yeah. And I'm like, get it.
Yes.
There's no way I'd show up to a dance class looking like that.
I was like,
you know what? I am proud of you.
So awesome. I know, like, the girl behind me, I was like, ooh, like, I'm watching my video and I'm like critiquing myself, and I'm like, ooh, she's looking sassy behind me, you know?
And sometimes I think that's one of those like fake it till you make it things. Like, I will put on a really beautiful sparkly costume, but I feel like crap. And like, I don't want to do this, but you know what? Like, I could look worse. And they'll be looking at the sparkly things anyway. And they're really just interested in my butt. So let's just go with that. Like, who cares what my abs look like? Nobody ever comments on my abs. They're looking at my butt and my boobs, right? So whatever. Like,
it's all about, like, you know, you flaunt what you got.
Exactly. And also during class, I'm like, you forget something? Shake something or touch something. It's a total distraction. We do it on stage. You forgot what you're doing? Did you touch yourself? You're perfect. Like, keep going.
That is so awesome.
It's just, that's a thing.
Okay, so let's talk about the nylon thing though more, because I am, like, again, I've been watching shows, and I've really been trying to watch people of all sizes, because it's easy to watch, like, you know, the slim, like, professional dancer, right? Yeah. But then you're like, okay, that's not me necessarily, so who else can give me inspiration, right? And so that is one of the things that I love about your troupe, because you do have a variety of sizes. But I'm also thinking, oh my God, I don't know if I could ever let go of the nylons. As much as I never ever want to wear them, I feel like, how much red light can we put on it?
And sometimes I'm like, I've seen nothing but red lights, so that's, well, I'll tell you when we first started, like when I was a burly baby. God, that's such a long time ago. We would wear like full-on dance tights, like the Capizio, like competition dance tights underneath your fishnets.
Oh my gosh!
And dude,
it's passing out.
You're dancing hard, and you're in a bar with no air conditioning. Yeah. Eventually, you're just like, get this.
You're like, this is bad for my health.
I'm naked and I am fine.
Yes.
Like, and honestly, like we want to shake things, and tights prevent you from shaking things because they are all very, compression-y.
Yes.
Yeah.
I feel like the audience, like, from what I can tell, it doesn't really matter you just have to own whatever it is that you have, and the audience is like, yes, yes, we're rooting for you. You are so awesome.
Right.
You know?
Exactly.
At least that's me rooting for all of you.
Right. No, but it's true, and we encourage people to write love notes, right? And they're kind of our way of getting like feedback and things from our audience members.
I sent you one. Did you get it?
Did you?
Yeah.
Caitlin opens them first, and then we get to read them afterwards.
Okay.
So I definitely look for it. But they, a lot of times they're just like, we love that you have so many different
reactions.
And size people. Like, I see myself up there instead of like, skinny LA, like whatever. So, I think it helps us engage with more people that way because we're real. Like that whole like we're the quote unquote people's burlesque thing. Like we really try to play to that. So we want to be for everybody. My
favorite routine of the night. So I went to the 80s show they did the other night. I think it was awesome. There were so many great, amazing parts, but I think it was both nostalgic and because of just the way he owned it. Coco's flash dance routine.
Oh, yeah. Because who doesn't love Coco Knockout? Like, legitimately, who doesn't?
He's amazing.
He is. He's our human sparkle. And he goes up there and owns it.
He totally owns it. And he, again, is not a tiny person.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
He's burly in every sense of the word. You know?
Yeah, and nobody moves like him. Like, it's just what it is, right?
What is his background in dance?
Coco, forgive me if you ever listen to this. I'm getting this wrong. He started dancing later in life, too. I know he danced in college, and he dances at Disney.
Okay. So. Yeah. And then what about you? What is your dance background?
I started when I was 10 with I was actually a jazz dancer first, and then...
That's old to start.
It is old to start. It's totally old to start. And then it just started like, okay, well, now you're in ballet, and now you're in tap, and now you're on the competition team, and now you're doing 14 routines for this competition. And I'm like, oh, where did this, how? And I think I started competing when I was 12, and I did that until I was 17, I think.
Sounds really stressful to me.
It is really stressful. There are so many costumes and so many, like, early mornings. Like, your call time is 5 o'clock, and, and you're dancing until 1 o'clock in the morning, but, you're 14, so who cares? Like, you don't need sleep.
Right.
So, it was expensive, and my poor parents, but, like...
But, like, how grateful are you right now that you have had that training?
Now I have all that, and,
And you choreograph for Dirty Little Secrets.
I do.
Right? How did that happen?
I don't even know. I think there was this one time that we were in rehearsal and we were like, I was learning something from somebody else, and they're like, I don't know what to put here. And I was like, try this.
Shimmy, shimmy, pop.
Yeah, just me being like a pretentious little jerk at 20 years old. Eventually, like, I just started being given routines. And now, if you look at things, like, I am the one who put together, like, Harry Potter. I didn't choreograph everything in it, but I did the storyline, and I put the, like, things, I did the casting and things like that, and the same thing for Nightmare Before Christmas. Those are my babies. So I feel like it's grown something from, like, I don't know what burlesque is, to, like, hey, I can put on a pretty okay production, obviously.
That's awesome.
Yeah, with the support of everybody else, because I couldn't do it without them, but, like, being given those, like, here, play with this. Okay. Don't have to tell me twice.
Have you always, I feel like you must have a talent for it since you had so many years of the competition training and so many of those routines, it sounds like. But, like, for me, my question is, have you always been good at choreography, just, like, picking it up?
No.
No? So you just had a lot of practice, is what you're saying. Okay.
You eventually, like, we did a lot of conventions and stuff when I was younger, and I was always awful at that. They're like, okay, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, what? What just happened?
You can curse, by the way, just to let you know.
Oh, okay. What the fuck? Like, good. I like cursing.
It helps.
So, it does help. But, like, I would always, like, I got the audition part, like, I couldn't get anything right, and it's just practicing it over and over again, and I feel like the longer you do it, the better you are at starting to pick things up, and obviously the longer you stick with a style, the more you kind of start to do this, so because
you learn, like, patterns within, like, oh, this burlesque the genre has certain themes, right?
Yeah.
Like, oh, just put in a hip bump there, or whatever, right? Like,
and the choreographers, we all work together really closely, so we all end up in each other's routines over and over and again. And we're like, okay, well, that move is like that move over here, and we've done that before, and so like it's kind
we need somebody with a really bendy back for this routine.
Right. Like putting things back together, and you're like, oh, okay, I get it. So that kind of thing helps, but no, picking up choreography was never my like strong suit. Like I was never good at it. It's always so slow. Can we do that again?
That's what I felt like in your classes. I'm just like, oh god, I'm the like slowest one. To be fair, it was my first time and nobody else's first time.
Right,
I think,
exactly,
right?
Exactly.
But so I'm like in this new space by myself and going like, okay, God, I have to remember this shit. I'm old.
And I feel like I didn't do an easy routine that week that you came.
Okay, good, because like the description of the class is for like beginning to
totally
no
beginning.
dance experience.
Absolutely no dance experience.
Yeah.
And I probably just had a wild hair up my ass, and I was like, I feel like doing this today.
Okay, I'm like, because I don't feel like if I had zero dance experience that I could have done this today.
Man, it's all about pushing you though.
Which is great, you know. And also, like, I love that you vocalized like, hey, like if your body's not going to do something, like modify it. I don't care. Just like, yeah, again, like wiggle.
Again, with the just touch yourself and shake something and you'll be fine. Like
Yes,
fine. Show your butt to the audience. Nobody cares.
So I know you, and I got a big butt, so I can really distract them.
All about that bass, baby.
I do envision that in my dancing future. That song.
Yes.
How do you like? I know your experience getting into it was sort of like, oh, let me try out for this thing I saw, and then now I'm in. Somebody who maybe is like me, totally feeling obsessed by it, but doesn't necessarily have the experience or skills or recent dance experience, to like
Fair. Yeah.
win the audition. Like, what do you suggest people do if they're like, I really dream of getting on a stage and performing, but like, I'm starting at ground zero or something.
Take classes. Like, legitimately, that's not like a shameless plug for mine. Like, literally take any class. Like, at least for us, we use so many different styles. Like some of our routines are kind of hip hoppy, and some of them are kind of like really lyrically and modernly type based. I'm like, what is that? And some of them are like classic burlesque stuff. So just take class. Like, get comfortable with what your body can do and get it to move in ways that maybe you're not used to. And then just try it. Like,
yeah.
Just try it.
So when I was in your class, we did Tainted Love, the Marilyn Manson version.
Yeah.
Yes. And so I'm like, okay, I was totally awkward, but I'm going to post it anyway because my friend said I should.
And I still think you look great.
Thank you. Maybe I just need less clothes.
Less clothing always helps, just saying.
But what I'm actually thinking of doing is like practicing, like just practicing the routine.
Yeah.
And then re-recording myself doing it just to like, because I know it'll get better with practice.
Right.
I will have had more than like 40 minutes of like ever seeing the thing.
Yeah. Half the time I'm like, what is this? What's happening? What am I doing?
So that's something I'm thinking about doing that I thought could be fun.
Yeah.
To do.
And then you can post before and after.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is my first day learning it, and this is after practicing it for 2 weeks.
So that's what I'm thinking of doing.
I think you should.
Cool.
And then you have to tag me.
Yes.
I want to see.
And then another thing I'm thinking of doing is just like making up my own routine. Like, okay, so there's another podcast called The Pasty Tapes. Have you heard of it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That grew really fast, by the way. Like, go niche, I guess, because she's had like, I don't know, like 7 episodes, and there's been like thousands of downloads already, right?
We're small but mighty community.
Yes. Yes. So one of the things that I have learned about from listening to that show is that, they have these burlesque festivals and things. And that's how a lot of people sort of get into performing, is they basically video themselves doing something and then they submit it.
Yep.
Which is totally different than your experience, right?
So, and I feel like the roads into burlesque are like vast and many. The Dirty Little Secrets are, I hesitate to say peculiar, but we are.
It's a good word, though.
Yeah, but we're different. Like, if you perform with us, you perform only with us. We perform as a group. We are a unit. obviously we couldn't pull off these huge productions with like 6 people, right? Like that's not feasible. You've seen our shows, like they're everywhere. But a lot of places are, like, if you go see a different show, a lot of them will be, like, singular performers that have been hired, like, with...
By the venue kind of thing?
Or by the producer of the show, who has, like, a themed act that fits this themed show that they're doing, and they kind of just put them all together.
Gotcha.
And so it kind of looks like one cohesive show, but none of these people, like, ever dance together regularly.
Okay.
So we provide a completely different experience than that. Some of us do submit to festivals. Like, we have some girls who do solos. We also submit groups. But yeah, like if you want to just do that, then you could get a pretty costume and submit. It's like $25 for most of them. And
you have to pay to submit.
Yeah.
Oh,
you do.
interesting. Okay.
Well, they gotta watch a video.
Yeah.
So, but they're all over and they happen all the time.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, is that a way you think somebody, like, off the street is, like, a good idea?
I mean, there has to be a lot of, like, there has to be stuff put into it, obviously. You can't just show up in, like, store-bought lingerie. Like, they're looking for things that are more, like, costume or extravagant. Like, they want you to have a gimmick a lot of times.
Like, some of these that I've seen, they have really gigantic props. Right?
Yeah.
Which is cool.
Big bows, big fans, big, like, So, martini glasses. Like, all sorts of things. Burlesque is an expensive profession. Like, if you go and you make money in this, like, you have put a lot of blood, sweat, tears, and money into it to make yourself do this.
Yeah.
Like, we do this out of love of performing and love of each other.
Right.
We don't make money on this, so.
Okay, I keep hearing that. It's making me sad.
Yeah.
I want people to make money for their art,
I mean,
you know?
We totally wish that we could. Sometimes we get reimbursed for gas. Like, and we're stoked. So, but yeah, no, like it's definitely not a huge moneymaker for most of us.
Which is why most of you have, like, other jobs during the day, right?
Yeah, or several.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Do you want to talk about that at all?
I mean, we can if you want to.
Yeah. What do you do during the day? When you're not vamping at night.
When I am not covered in glitter and sparkles, I am a dance movement therapist.
Ooh, what does that mean?
I use movement as a psychotherapeutic intervention.
I use that. I just spoke down my top.
I was like, what?
That was a burlesque move.
Yeah, it was. It was like water things, so we just need like a little kiddie pool and we need to catch it.
Totally.
What was I talking about?
Mental therapy and...
so what's funny is I actually got into... not a thought. I actually looked into dance movement therapy as a profession as a result of being a burlesque and pole instructor.
Okay.
So I really liked watching, because I was teaching before I was performing, so I really loved watching my students, like, get really confident and, like, seeing their growth from being this, like, really shy, like, I can't do this, to, like, bam, I'm upside down on a pole and, like, look at how strong I am, or... like, I'm comfortable, like, I used to come in, like, sweatpants and a sweatshirt to class, and now I'm in, like, booty shorts and a sports bra. Get it! Like, that's awesome. So, like, there has to be a way of, like, using movement as, like, a thing. So, obviously, I don't get to use, like, being sexy with people. I work in inpatient psych, so that's very different.
But what does your treatment look like?
I mean... dance movement therapists, please don't strike me down either. But my groups tend to look like big dance parties. I want to find. I have so much fun at my job. But I want people to find the joy in moving again. Like it's no. I'm trying to figure out which part of my brain I want to use.
Okay.
But, like, it's not uncommon knowledge that we hold trauma in our bodies, right? Like, something traumatic happens, we store it, we keep it. I want to help people find a way to find joy in their bodies who have experienced trauma or who live in a body that is betraying them by way of their brain. You know, their brain tells them they're broken. They have voices. They have depression. They have all these things. I want them to feel good for just a little bit, and like they can find that joy through moving.
That's awesome.
So,
which gives them hope, right? Because if they can have that for just a moment, then they can remember what that feels like.
Mm-hmm. And sometimes it's really cool. Like a lot of my guys, you know, they don't remember a lot of things from time to time, but like if they come back to the hospital, they're like, "Hey, you're the dancing lady," and I'm like, "I am the dancing lady. Let's go dance." And so like it's cool that they keep that with them. So I know that it's making a difference of some kind. So that's my spiel.
That's awesome. And how I feel like that's a very specific therapy that maybe not every place can afford, or like how do you get paid for that work, I guess is my question.
I am actually
all right, so we were talking about dance therapy.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember your last thought? Because I got distracted by the computer.
Are we recording now?
We are recording.
Okay. Sorry. We were talking about helping people find joy in their bodies. You were asking me how somebody gets paid for that kind of work.
Yes.
So people actually do pay to have creative arts therapy in hospitals.
Is that more common than I'm thinking, maybe? Is that like a regular thing that most hospitals will have?
I feel like if you have inpatient psych, it's more common than people realize. Because I've worked full-time, like, in hospitals, where, like, I go and I work a 9 to 5, and I'm there all day, and I do groups, and I do individuals. And now I'm an independent contractor, and I work at several hospitals and several different units, and I kind of just go bounce around, and I spread the love of dance to all the people.
See, I feel like that just, like, proves that play is, like, critical to humans, because that's, like, people are on the end of their rope when you're seeing them, it seems like, right?
Yeah, they're acute. A lot of them come in for that kind of stuff, so. But I also believe in touch, too, so I think that that's a thing. Like, human-to-human contact is a thing, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like, so,
there's a whole love language about it.
Right, exactly. And, like, when they go into a hospital, like, you touch people with gloves, and you do, like, there's no, like, human contact. They're like, don't hug them, they're dirty. And I'm like, dude, they just had a shower, and they're a human. Like, as long as they're not being sexually inappropriate, what's the problem?
So you actually get that, though, in hospitals where the staff is saying, don't hug them?
Yeah, it's awful. Like, don't
That's
touch.
the thing they need the most right now.
I know, don't touch them, don't do anything. They're like fist bumps only. And I'm like, do you have any idea how powerful just a handshake or a touch on the shoulder is? Like, you take that for granted every day.
Yeah.
But then, you know, like, I transfer that to, like, being on stage, and I go and I stick my boobs in somebody's face. So, like, that's a totally different kind of touch. But
but everybody knows they're signing up for that when they come here, right?
We say it right in the beginning that it is consent that you have come up here. We are going to pull you up on stage. We're going to touch you, and we'll probably spank you with something. And it's just how it goes.
And everybody hopes so.
And everybody has their fingers crossed that it's going to be them. So it's kind of full circle. My day job and my night hobby are related and also worlds apart. So
interesting. Okay, so how do you make the pasty stick?
Oh gosh, there's so many options.
Is it eyelash glue? That's my thought.
Dude, I used to use eyelash glue, but you were pulling that crap off your boobs for days.
Oh, really? Okay.
Okay, so I use lingerie tape because I find that works for me.
Like that Hollywood tape that you could get at CVS?
Yeah, okay. Exactly that. Comes in like a little tape dispenser.
With strips that are like double-sided kind of thing? Okay.
Yep, that. I use that. Some people use wig tape because they're like extra sweaty humans. I'm allergic to that. So if I do that, I have these really awesome like marks on my tits for like also days.
Your husband's like, thanks for leaving me the leftovers.
Right. What was that? And then some girls use super glue, which sounds terrifying to me, and I won't do that if I don't have to.
That's a bad idea.
And then some people have...
You're not getting paid enough for that.
But some people, that's all that works. And then some people... Shoot. Yeah, and then some people use that, like... have you ever seen that, like, sticky craft foam at, like, Michael's?
Sticky craft foam?
Yeah, like, it's like... I don't know. It's like foam sheets.
No.
Okay, so there's stuff that you can like pull off the backing and it's sticky. So like that's what we make most of our like pasties out of.
So you decorate the foam?
Yeah, so you decorate the foam and you pull off the sticky backing and you stick it on and you call it a day. So yeah, there's lots of options. Some people use spirit gum.
Okay, yeah, I was wondering about that.
Yeah.
Just like an old theater trick.
Yeah. That stuff also burns, so I can't use that. But
electrical tape, is that what you use for the black X's?
No, I actually have pasties that are like covered in jewels and stuff. They're just not super sparkly, but mine are actual like felt pasties.
Okay.
And I just stick tape on the back and good to go.
The wig, no, not the wig tape.
Yeah, I use the lingerie tape.
The lingerie tape. Okay.
Yep. It's like $6 a roll.
Yeah.
Good to go.
Man, okay.
But when I'm Iron Man and I have to put the arc reactor like on my chest, I have to use the wig tape and I take it off and I have this really awesome like burned square like on my chest. And like that's really attractive and wearing high neck tops to work because nobody needs to know what that came from.
Oh man, because it's so heavy, you need more heavy duty.
Yeah, It's really heavy.
Marvel, we need a solution. Can you please sponsor these ladies of Dirty Little Secrets?
Actually, if I could just meet Robert Downey Jr., I would like just be happy.
I bet he could help you get that thing stuck.
Oh god. I'm so happy. Can we make that a thing?
Oh man, okay. What else? Let me think. Do I have any other burning burlesque questions?
Burning burly questions.
Let's talk about money, dollar bills. Okay, so you have your little love note envelopes that you leave on the table, and Barnaby Jones, your MC, reminds everybody to like tip their waitresses and bartenders and dancers.
And us, yeah.
What is the burlesque etiquette for throwing money down somebody's clothing?
So funny story about Barnaby. One time at the Pike, some drunk dude decided that he wanted to like throw dollar bills like you were at a strip club, and that's kind of obviously that was pre-love note. And we're like, please don't throw money at the dancers. Like that's not what we're here for. Like yes, we totally appreciate that you want to tip. But this guy was really, he was drunk and he was an angry drunk. And so Barnaby didn't like that. And he put the money in his pants and he was like, thanks, I'll give that to us, like the girl later. And the guy got really upset and he was like, that money's not for you. Barnaby's like, come get it. And so the guy punched him in the dick.
Oh my God. Oh, Barnaby taking one for the team.
He shouldn't have put the money in his pants.
No. Oh, Barnaby.
Now we just encourage people to put it in our love notes. If you go to other burlesque shows, a lot of times they'll have like tip buckets that they'll like pass around during like intermissions, during breaks. I don't think I've ever seen a burlesque dancer like encouraging people to put money in their clothes, like in their lingerie, because we're just gonna take it off and it's gonna end up somewhere on stage. Like if you want to tip us, we do appreciate it. It goes a long way, but we prefer that it happens like for DLS in a love note, for other shows in a tip bucket, and we just split it up. Well, actually, DLS doesn't. That goes towards costumes. We buy costumes. Okay. So. Yeah,
so that you don't have to come out of your pocket as much.
Exactly. So if you like to see our sparkly everything, please give us money. That's how that rolls.
Okay. Yes, I was a little conflicted because I'm like, I don't know what the proper way to do it is. I mean, it's very clear at your show, like, this. Please do this. We like when you do it, and you do it this way.
Yeah.
I don't think that there's like a don't do it the other way, but it's just like the expectation is like, if you want to give us money, please put it in the envelope. Right.
Yeah.
But I've been to another show where they were like really moving around a lot and walking right by me, and I'm like, I really want to like give them this money, but then like, I don't know, that feels like dirty in some way, even though we're all here to take our clothes off. Right. I don't know, it just felt like, wait, is that like a degradation to like burlesque?
I think that the times that it's happened to me before that, I'm just like, I don't know what to do with this. I have nowhere to
put this. Can you just
this.
hold on to it, buddy?
Yeah,
have you seen how little I'm wearing?
Right, like, it can go like in my G-string, and then like, I don't know. Then I don't know. Then you take away from the line that I've created of whatever.
Right,
like,
right.
Just don't do it. Later. Hand it to me later.
Okay. Well, where do you see maybe where burlesque started for you, and then like a shift to what's happening with burlesque now?
For me personally?
Yeah, both personally and maybe generally.
Oh, I feel like burlesque is growing, like as a general thing. Like I feel like it's everywhere, and it's so exciting that like women want, and men and other, like everybody, people in general want to take back like this feeling of empowerment, like for themselves. And I see all these like new burlesque festivals popping up and all of these classes and all of these things. And like, it's just so cool to see those kinds of things. Like direct competition or not, whatever. Like, and then for me personally, it's strange to think that we went from this, like, we had like one costume and it was your black bra that you bought off the shelf at Walmart. Right. And then you put it on for the next routine and then you took it off and then you put it on and you took it off and it was just that was like the one thing that you had, to going around to carrying this tub. And, you know, like I have an Iron Man costume that I don't want to talk about how much it costs, but like it's huge. Like I could fit my whole body in the tub that it has to be created.
Just for that one costume.
Just for the one costume. And, or, you know, we've got 7 or 8 different costume pieces in the thing. Or like if I make my own costume, like, oh my God, like that has so many rhinestones on it. Like where did all of those come from? I have a whole closet in my house dedicated to just burlesque costumes.
Wow.
And it's from floor to ceiling, and then the cupboard above it is all burlesque making stuff,
right?
Like costuming stuff.
Do you
like,
sew?
No, hand sew.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So it's
that's a lot, and like
an accumulation.
I have to get very creative if I want to get into it, and like, where do I put stuff? I cannot bring more stuff in.
Yeah, no, that's a lot.
But I do think starting out with, like, the black is a good way to start.
Oh, it's easy. Right. Like, everybody in a black bra. It's really easy. All right. So.
Oh, shoes. Okay, you have to protect your feet.
Oh,
this
shoes.
Is one of my big concerns because I've had a foot injury. So,
yeah.
Like, what... Are you wearing, like, black Capezio character shoes that have the little, like, wraparound strappiness? That's what I was
No,
sensing.
the ones that we have are ballroom shoes.
Okay.
They're sparkly ballroom shoes.
And then what do you wear? Like, what did you wear to teach class?
Ballroom shoes.
Okay.
Sparkly ballroom shoes. Yeah. So they're just little tiny. Those are really short. I bought those on accident. Like my heels that I prefer like 4-inch heels.
Oh,
like
wow.
That's where my foot feels really comfortable.
Really? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Like the 1-inch like kind of feels like off balance for me, and then like anything higher obviously is a little like, oh, I can't do a high kick and that I'll fall in the face. But
4 inches feels good.
4 inches feels good to me.
That's what she said.
Maybe a little longer. But, yeah, so I think there's, like, DLS we have transferred into because we're a group. We all wear the same shoe.
Okay.
We all have exactly the same shoe. But, like, for a long time, we were just wearing whatever was comfortable. Mm-hmm. And I think most people, like, if you're a solo performer, you wear whatever you want, right? Mm-hmm. So find a shoe that's comfortable. If you need to throw some inserts in it, go for it. Like, who's going to see it unless you take off your shoe? And in that case, paint it sparkly. Like, whatever. And dance around in bare feet. Who cares? You're going to do a stocking strip anyway.
Which is a whole other fun thing about burlesque, right?
Right.
I have really wide feet. I call them pizza feet because I have a narrow heel and a wide front. And so that just makes, like, the shoe thing, like, my entire life, all the shoes difficult, right?
Yeah.
Like, I need to really invest money in a comfortable dance shoe.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that needs to be a foundation of burlesque.
I mean, it really should be, right? Because, like, if you're going to be doing all of this crazy stuff and you're going to be doing it in the heels, like, it should be comfortable. So.
How did you define that 4-inch was comfortable for you? Was it just a matter of...
I just tried a bunch of different shoes.
Yeah.
And, like, well, like, because
kinda.
and just, like, my quote-unquote formative burlesque years, I tried a bunch of different shoes, and I found these, and I'm like, I like these! These are awesome! And so I've been wearing the same... They're not the same shoe, but they're the same style of shoe that I just keep ordering over and over and over. I have like 27 pairs.
What are they called? Do you know?
Mine are Pleasers. Actually,
that's the brand name.
Yeah, Pleasers, and they're like Devious 415s or something. like I get them on Amazon. We used to get them wholesale with the studio, but not anymore.
Oh,
but yeah. So that for all of my solos, I wear those shoes just because they are comfortable for me. They have like the little T-strap and the little pointy thing, but they're like wider up at the ball of the foot. And I'm good to go.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. You gotta protect those dogs.
It's true. It's true. You're dancing a lot in them.
Yeah. All right. Any final words for anybody who might be listening who's either curious about burlesque or like looking for some kind of personal transformation and wondering if burlesque could be the answer.
Just try it. Burlesque is always the answer. You'll find what I think that I've seen a lot of people find a lot of different things because you can assign a lot of different meaning to it, right? Like if you go in there and you are looking for something specific, like find the person that can help you find it, right? There's a bunch of burlesque teachers around and we all teach differently, and sometimes it's just finding that thing that you click with. And if that isn't for you, try something else, right? But it's been transformative for me and for a lot of people that I spend quite a bit of time with, right? Because we do it because we love it and because it gives us something that we were missing. And what we were missing is different for all of us. So
interesting. Well, cheers to burlesque.
Woo!
Where can people find you?
I am on Instagram at ginger
__
Fatale, Fatale. And that's the same on Twitter, and then Ginger Fatale on Facebook.
And DLS Burlesque also.
At DLS Burlesque for Instagram, and DirtyLittleSecretsBurlesque.com. Yeah, I know it's a really long website. You have to type all of it in. You will find otherwise, like the Dirty Little Secret lyrics from whoever sang
Oh, right. I think I came across that.
Yep. DirtyLittleSecretsBurlesque.com.
And if you want to see a show, DirtyLittleSecretsBurlesque.com can get you the links to get the tickets.
Yeah, and you can use my name as a promo code to save you some money, too.
Ooh,
yeah,
okay.
So just Ginger.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you, Ginger.
Yeah, thank you.
I hope to see you on the dance floor.
All the time.
Hey, Mermaid, and any mermen and pirates who might be lurking around. Thank you so much for listening. If you've been enjoying the show, I'd love to invite you to check out our Patreon page, patreon.com/peaceloveandwine. There you can find ways to support the show through our virtual tip jar / micro sponsorship and membership in the official Peace, Love, and Wine Club. You'll find different tiers with different benefits, such as getting your name in the show notes, getting a handwritten letter from yours truly, and getting a shout out on the podcast itself. Additionally, we are adding some fun tiers with my new burlesque behind the scenes adventures where you'll get access to photos, blog posts, and videos that will not be shown to the general public. So if any of that sounds like fun to you, if you've ever had a laugh or gained some wisdom or insight from the show, I'd appreciate if you could take the time to check us out over at Patreon and see if that's something that you might be open to participating in. As we get more founding patron members, we will add more fun things too, possibly things like virtual happy hours where we meet virtually and enjoy a drink and conversation together. So I'm curious to hear what you'd like to see. You can always email me, info@peaceloveandwine.com. And again, check it out in the show notes, patreon.com/peaceloveandwine. This is a public service announcement from Peace, Love, and Wine. Hey, Mermaid, are you feeling calm AF? If not, I have a solution for you, and it's free. Go to peaceloveandwine.com and grab your free self-care download by entering your name into the pop-up, or just go to the show notes and grab your Calm AF link there into your email, and we'll get you on your way to feeling good. Oh, yeah.